Iron Point was critical here in terms of setting the stage for what Nevada King is going to do for the next 5 years, and we were enormously successful. We've got lower plate gold hits. Good Lord, there's very few places in that part of northern Nevada where anyone has been able to drill and hit mineralized lower plate. And anytime you can do that anywhere in that part of Nevada, you got a shot at an elephant deposit. Iron Point is probably the most extensively and intensively explored gold project and base metals project in all of Nevada.
Quentin ranks this as one of, if not his top drill-ready target in Nevada.
That intersection hypothesis with the just absolutely stinking geochem around this area tells you there's something big going on. I've seen all of the surface geochem for the entire state. This area, this spot, is one of about 3 spots that I know of that has absolutely screaming geochemistry, but does not have a major gold mine yet.
Quentin says we've got to drill this thing, and so we deepened one of our core holes. We have a PQ core hole we drilled for metallurgical test work. Down at the bottom of the very bottom of the hole, we hit some gold.
The landscape in Nevada has changed dramatically in the last 15 years, and the big change has been most of the oxide, shallow, easy deposits to find are all gone. And so now people are looking deep. And there's been technology and a renaissance in understanding that has allowed companies to now find significant deposits at greater depth. We are using Gold Spot in Nevada King. We've been very successful using that at the Queensway project for newfound gold as well.
At Gold Spot, we've really been able to harness a lot of new technologies to highlight targets and opportunities that humans may have missed. And in a world where we're looking for elephants, machine learning and technology can really help us to put those pieces together. And so it gives us an edge.
In an environment like Iron Point or Lewis, we have a tremendous amount of data. And what the machine learning and Gold Spot allows you to do is look and see, can we find patterns, can we find targets? It's going to help us to pick where we're going to drill.
The story is very simple. In Nevada, you want to be in what we call lower plate rocks, lower plate limestones. Now, there are places where those rocks are exposed and many discoveries have been made. There are other places where the Roberts Mountain thrust and the rocks that are above it cover those rocks. We're looking for big gold deposits in areas where we know there's limestones that are permissive for hosting gold underneath the Roberts Mountain thrust. So we've got some holes that are testing inside the window. We got other holes that are drilling down through the cover and trying to test the same rocks in areas that are buried. It's really the first time this kind of drilling's been done at Iron Point. It's probably the most geochemically well-endowed district that has yet to be explored thoroughly in Nevada. So our expectation is we are going to find a blind deposit, something that doesn't outcrop, it's hiding underneath us and basically in plain sight.
Now you have one hole drilled by Chevron back in the 1980s. They hit a 5-foot interval in there that went greater than 3 grams per ton. When you hit mineralization like that, then you gotta keep looking at it.
We have very limited drilling. Out of the 550 drill holes, only 27 holes are deeper than 1,000 feet. You're barely into carbonate section at that point. We drilled the VM8C hole down here. There's the upper plate assemblage. It goes down approximately to 910 feet. Below that, you go through the Roberts Mountain thrust. As we got to the very bottom of that hole, the bottom 6 meters grades 0.12 grams. So we were starting to come into the system before it was cut off. We need to go back and test that again, go a little bit deeper and test that concept because that's very receptive rock.
The 8C, there was a low-grade intercept, but it was a Carlin style interception. And that's what's exciting about Iron Point is this is the first time anyone has gone deep enough and hit Carlin style mineralization within lower plate rock. So when you do that, you've got to keep going. You don't stop. Nevada King is engaged in a deep drilling program down to somewhere between 800 and 900 meter depth. The objective is to locate the lower plate sequence that was hit in 8C and to track the mineralization within that lower plate to try to home in on grades which could be potentially economic.
Iron Point is one of those stories that could really be a game changer, not just for the company, but for Nevada as a whole. It has all the ingredients in place that if we get lucky on drilling, that you could hit something really of significance. And you're talking size mixed with high grade. The ultimate goal with Iron Point is to hit the big one.
Most companies do not have the finances and they don't have the commitment to try to find the type of deposit that is going to make you a monster gold system. Nevada King had the money, which again would set them apart from most of the other juniors. We had the money. And it wasn't a matter of limiting ourselves here, it was a matter of how big can we go. You go big or you go home.